So if you're wondering why I'm lighting candles right now, it's because I just filmed the intro to this video without doing any of the candles because I'm an idiot. In case you didn't know that, in case you were unaware that the Plastic Commander is a short. Come on now. There we go, perfect. You know, it's short a couple of brain cells, just a little bit. There we go. Good evening, Plastic Commander here with another frightening Halloween special. In this special, we're going to be taking a look at a really cool set of figures by Glencoe Mark So. These are reproductions of their classic Movie Monsters line that they released way back in the day around the 1960s, and it's a really cool set and a very thematic one for the evening. So, hope you guys like my costume also. If you can't tell, I'm dressed as the devil. I really wanted to go as the thing that scares me the most, but I didn't know how to properly dress up as someone who's watched the best moments of their life fade away, without just dressing like myself, if I'm being perfectly honest. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's jump right into the spookiness. Ahoy! Plastic Commander here with a very spooky set of movie monsters. So, you might recognize these guys. Everyone does. Maybe not a couple of them, but you definitely recognize Frankenstein's monster. And also, right here, we got the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Because I'm an American, that's how I say that. And right towards the back right there, we got who is that? I'm gonna start with him. Can't read that name. The Mummy. Okay, of course. Sorry, I'm not wearing my spectacles, so don't expect a very detailed review from the Plastic Commander. By the way, if you guys haven't noticed, I started wearing glasses. I went and got my eyes checked out a few weeks ago, and the eye doctor was like, wow, I don't know how you've been living with that. So I'm finally seeing the world as it's meant to be seen, which is terrifying. That's honestly scarier than anything Halloween can throw at you. Seeing the world for what it really is, that's kind of terrifying. But anyway, the Mummy. Very, very cool. These are all based off the Universal motion pictures from way, way back in the day. And most certainly not the horrible reboot that Tom Cruise tried to shove out. Or I guess he didn't make it. He was just a bystander in that movie. He was the star, but I'll take my anger out on him. But hey, these figures are really nice. Lots of detail. These are, of course, reproductions. And really my only complaint is that the plastic they used feels kind of cheap. It doesn't really feel like that PVC plastic that you would get from a Marx figure, and most of the reproductions that I come across for Marx tend to be about the same quality as original Marx figures. So this one is kind of a letdown. I also really don't like this color. Like I was saying, it makes it kind of difficult to see a lot of the detail. But of course, I feel like these are more for painting. In fact, I've seen a lot of people paint these, and they look really, really gorgeous. So that's definitely not a drawback. But anyway, just put the Mummy back there. This is going to be a shorter video, by the way. This is the only set I'll be looking at today. Really, I just couldn't find a lot of Halloween stuff. I found some vintage NPC Halloween figures, and they were a ridiculous amount of money. These weren't super cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but the NPC vintage Halloween figures were crazy, and everyone was trying to grab them because it's October. But of course, we got the Phantom of the Opera. So, my ex-girlfriend loved Phantom of the Opera. And this is a really nice Phantom right here. And of course, if you haven't noticed, they have their names on little plaques. These are definitely more for display purposes than anything else. In fact, I could totally see some kid or even a teenager in the 70s buying these. And they also sold these painted, since we're talking about them being painted. Way back in the day. All the 6-inch Marx figures, the Vikings, mummies, the They did a set of Egyptians. All of the 6-inch figures, they had painted versions of them that were slightly more expensive, and those are really difficult to find. But yeah, you could totally buy them painted if you looked in the right place. So, Phantom, really cool, has his mask right here. But yeah, I really like this set, to be honest. And if you're a fan of horror or movie monsters, not even necessarily an Army Men fan, just someone who enjoys classic horror cinema, this would definitely be a great set for you to get. So, right here, we got Frankenstein's monster. Very, very cool. And of course, let's see, does it actually call? It calls him Frankenstein. Shame on you, Marks. Should be Frankenstein's monster. Can you tell I'm an English major yet? So anyway, Frankenstein's monster. My cat is trying to step on the back of my shoulders. Hold on, give me 1 second. You coming, Matt? Oi. Nope, she said no. Is that your new spot? Apparently it is. Also, I'm taking everything off my walls because I'm about to move soon, or at least I'm going to try to. But anyway, really cool Frankenstein's monster. All the bells and whistles. You know, at first glance, I almost didn't get this set because I didn't realize it was movie monsters. I just thought it was members of Congress. So, yeah, sorry, I had to have at least one political joke in this video so y'all continue to know that I'm based. But anyway, we got the Wolfman, or as some people call him, me. Look at all that hair. So, we got the Wolfman. And sorry I'm not going deeper into this dive. I'm actually not a big horror cinema fan, other than a couple of horror movies, but yeah, honestly, it's just that monsters don't really scare me as much as the ever-fading liveliness found on the planet, and especially compared to the horror found in climate change. Those things scare me a lot more. Like, if they make a horror movie and it's just 45 minutes and the polar ice cap's melting, ooh, I'll be shivering in my boots, to be honest. But yeah, really cool. So, of course, when the Wolfman turns into the Wolfman, he rips up all of his clothes. So, if I were him, I would just think ahead and probably just wear, like, cheap Walmart jeans, or I'd probably just go to the thrift store for all my clothes, to be honest. I would just plan out, like, okay, the full moon's on Tuesday, so I need to just wear my raggedy old gym shirt that day that I got for $4 at Goodwill. Okay, planning it out. But yeah, every full moon he turns into a horrifying, hideous monster, and I just now noticed right here, next to the plaque, that looks like a little snake. Yeah, you could barely make that out. That's like a little snake. I don't know if, I haven't seen the original Wolfman film, so I couldn't tell you if snakes are part of the theming of that movie, or if there are any snakes present in that movie. I have no absolute frame of reference. So, right over here, something I'm a little bit more familiar with, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, or as we say it over here across the pond, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, I actually read Victor Hugo's Hunchback of Notre Dame when I was in high school. I'm actually a really big fan of Victor Hugo's work. He's probably my favorite French author, which is not saying much because he's like the only one I've read. But Hunchback of Notre Dame is a really good book. If you're starting to read Victor Hugo, I would probably start with Hunchback. Compared to all of his other books, especially Les Mis and The Man Who Laughs, it's a lot shorter and it's a lot easier to get into, just because it's a lot more famous than both of those. I'd even argue Hunchback of Notre Dame is more iconic, mostly because of the Universal picture, than Les Miserables is. So, I've also read Les Miserables. That's actually my favorite novel of all time, and it clears about 1,400 pages if you read the original. And Hunchback of Notre Dame is also, I think it goes for a whopping 600 pages, last I remember. But a good portion of that is essays. Victor Hugo used the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and this became This is less of the Armyman channel and more of Clay just using his English degree that he got. So Hunchback of Notre Dame, at the time it was written, was mostly written to help preserve Gothic architecture. So, at the time, during the mid-1800s, when Victor Hugo was alive, they were planning on demolishing lots and lots of old Paris, so like the medieval buildings and stuff, as well as Notre Dame. They were planning on tearing all of that down to build low-income housing, and Victor Hugo swooped in, and he said, not on my watch, and he wrote a book that's 30% talking about Gothic architecture, and the other 70% is about the Hunchback of Notre Dame, a deaf guy who rings a bell, who inadvertently stops a pedophile preacher from hooking up with a 15-year-old girl. So really, he is the hero as the Hunchback. So, but yeah, it's a really good read. If you really, really, really enjoy Gothic literature, I would definitely recommend Hunchback, as well as Les Miserables, because Les Miserables is also somewhat Gothic, just in a sadder, less fun way. Like, Hunchback of Notre Dame is Gothic and like a fun, oh, it's Halloween, and Les Miserables is like Gothic and like, oh, it's the horrors of the Industrial Revolution. But anyway, finally, the creature from the Black Lagoon, or as they call him, just Creature. That's pretty vague. You can call a lot of things a creature, including and especially me. But anyway, really nicely detailed. I think this is my favorite out of this whole set. I loved his webbed hands, and despite the kind of cheaper plastic that the mold is cast out of, because like I said, these are all reproductions, this one's really nice still. And I could totally see myself painting these if I had any talent, so I'll probably have to find a friend of mine who's an artist to help kind of doodle these up to look a lot nicer. But yeah, the creature from the Black Lagoon, look at those eyes. Reminds me of that movie, The Shape of Water. If you ever seen that movie. But anyway, guys, that about wraps it up. Sorry this is kind of a shorter episode, but I just wanted to get something out for the holiday season, just really quick. I know I said I would do something for Halloween, and I was kind of teetering because I got so late with the space special, but still, y'all deserve a million Halloween specials. But anyway, guys, that'll wrap it up for this video. So, Mark's Universal Movie Monsters, really cool set. Go out and buy them. It appears Sergeant Thread and Needle took a fall. Just gotta put him right there. Hopefully he doesn't catch on fire and burn my whole apartment down with me inside of it. That would be really tragic. You know, for the people in my life, not for me by any stretch of the imagination, if I'm being perfectly honest. I hope you guys really enjoyed this Halloween special. Sorry it's not as long as some of my other videos. I really just wanted to get something out there for y'all. That space video really took a lot out of me. So the next video is going to be part 2 to that though, so keep your eye open. And if you haven't seen that space special, shame on you. I put a lot of effort into that video, like a little too much. Probably like a standard deviation more than the effort I put into most things in my life, including my relationships, job, and love life. So, yeah, you should probably go watch it. I'm not asking. I'm not asking anymore. Just go. Go watch it now. The Plastic Commander commands you. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for stopping by, and make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure to go check out that new space video, and as always, I'm the Plastic Commander. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Mission accomplished. Well done, man. Pack it up. We're going home.
$7 for this. I'm a masochist.